Hi, I'm so glad to be back with you today and share with you an unusual paper written by a student in 2015, so it's fairly recent. And I'm hoping that this one will help you further with the essay that you're working on. There's a lot to notice here, and I'm going to give you a hard copy of this, or a digital copy that you can turn into a hard copy. First, the title. It's a attention-grabbing technique that the title clearly draws us into the paper. Especially wanted you to notice the level of language. I've written comments in a number of your papers. If for some reason you don't see them, go to View in Microsoft Word and click View Comments. So you have to be able to do that. In any case, this is going to connect, see, there to, in this case, is Word inherently. So we're talking about that level of language here is indoctrinated, that is college appropriate, and the writing style that is college appropriate is not choppy sentences with downgraded vocabulary. So these words really are tools that clarify a point that the writer's going to stick to throughout the paper. However, I do want to stress with this paper, this student is very mature, very sophisticated in the use of language and argument, and is able to get away with delaying the main point, preparing, almost grooming the reader for the main point that's going to come later. But you will notice too, the writer does not fall off topic. There isn't this wandering aimlessly around. There's building a case constantly for the point. That being, in this case, that a movie can live up to a text version of a story, a novel, and so on. Which reminds me, it does tend to help you a great deal if you use the terms video and text version, because some of you are using the word stories for both, and it really sort of muddies the water. Okay, anyway, so she, in this case, Eilene goes into a lot of business about the science fiction part of preparing her case, and you can read that. I'm not going to take the time to do that, but she does build the case slowly and deliberately. Keyword being deliberately. I wanted to point out here not only the vocabulary, but the fact that she is qualifying the case. She's not saying in all cases. She's not using a huge hasty generalization. She is saying that this often happens. So those kind of qualifiers protect you logically. It makes it appear that you're going to present a logical case with credibility for a thinking audience. So you're gearing your essay to a thinking audience. She did leave out quotes here occasionally. This is a rough draft, but it builds the case so well. Notice the thesis is really delayed considerably, to the point where we get it here, and then it builds on that. Notice the use of the parentheticals. I received a couple of papers that had no parentheticals, no direct quotes, no use of evidence, no precise use of evidence in referring to the video. This is a very flimsy kind of level of personal research that we're talking about. We're not talking about using secondary sources, but certainly we have to dig into the evidence sufficiently. I'm wondering, I don't know, maybe this is getting off topic myself, but I'm honestly wondering whether this tendency we have publicly on the part of many figures to make wild claims without any sort of evidence whatsoever, and then just say, well, I think it's true, or some people are saying it's true, or whatever, seems to suffice in our culture. Okay, I got off on my tangent there, but I'm wondering if that has unfortunately sort of stuck with us in our academic endeavors, to the point where we feel like in some cases, oh, we don't have to put evidence in there, we don't have to be specific, we just go ahead and say that we think it's true. No, it won't hold up. Imagine your audience has not read the story as well as you have, and always imagine that your audience is skeptical. This paper does that. It is making the case, looking at the opposition view, and considering that the audience isn't necessarily on my side if I write this paper. I've got to bring them along. I've got to show them reason why my point is acceptable. Not that they have to agree, but that it does deserve their review, their consideration, and that it does offer good support and reasoning to back it up. And that's what's a really huge part of this paper. Well, you have the paper itself. I do hope it helps. I'm putting a few videos in the forum this week, and we'll probably share some of those because many of us tend to fall into the same pitfalls in writing a paper like this. Do notice the complete works cited. Okay, well, enough said, probably too much, but I'm really, really, really hoping that helps and wish you